Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You people have spent a whole day toiling and moiling right from morning till this evening. You have heard from the very learned and distinguished colleagues who are the chairperson of various sessions, observation made by them, and most of the learned faculty are sitting here, and the delegates who are not tired so far are sitting here. I must congratulate firstly that in the dawn of Science Day tomorrow, you have been able to gather together here and also deal with a national seminar on science and technology for human welfare. That last portion of human welfare is very attractive to me. Being from the health sciences background, although I am also nowadays, also earlier, in the field of education, not only health education or various other branches of education. I am very proud of the Present Director, Dr. N.C. Talukdar, with the help of very distinguished faculty, scholars, and students, and also support from the Science Society. This institution has been brought up to a different level now. What I saw about 5-6 years back when he came in 2009, and earlier also I was knowing many people who are connected with in the Science Society, who were the original proprietor of this institution. Then the government of Assam took over, then now the DST has taken over. With the contribution of T. Ramasamy, when then DST secretary, I have found that this institution has grown in the right direction. With regard to what our learned colleagues have said, I want to further underline that although in life science or in health science, people believe that you don't have to know much of mathematics. Although one of the colleagues have said that 2 + 2, 4 or 8. I have a different opinion in that context. In today's scenario, when you have to understand life science also, and even in life science there is physics, there is chemistry, there is mathematics and computational technology. So we cannot but ignore mathematics and computational technology. With the requirement of digitization of all our records or our findings, we need to understand more of mathematics now. I will suggest the learned colleagues and friends that we should go to schools, adopt certain schools so that we can improve the quality of this teaching in mathematics and science together. And also to I must underline that in the context of only 13.6% of enrollment to the higher education, we need to go to the school level because our school level training or the schooling curriculum are not tuned to so much of science and technology. Ladies and gentlemen, unless we improve quality of our student in the school and improve the enrollment, our goal of improving welfare through research and innovation and technology will not be successful. We have got opinion from agricultural scientists. We know this. M.S. Swaminathan has revolutionized a green revolution for the self-sufficient of food in the country. Various prime ministers, since Pandit Nehru, they have different objectives. Soon after independence, we had the objective of developing heavy industries to begin with the help of Russian government, and also introducing IITs to use technology. Science alone, unless scientific knowledge is available to us, but unless through the technology, its applicability is not made, human welfare will not be done. To build human welfare in the context of true sense, all scientific knowledge available to us, or we want to look for new knowledge, have to be translatable through technology. It is possible today. In the case of health sciences, if I have to tell you, or even other sciences, we have to see the quality of soil. It begins from the soil science, how fertile it is, how polluted it is, how much bioorganisms are available in the soil. I was just talking to my dear director. He was an agricultural scientist, then soil scientist, and so on and so forth. I told him that this is a very good experience you had. Our life begins from the soil. Soil has to be good, or the seed has to be good, or the sperm and the ovum have to be appropriate. Then all quality of all products, be it paddies and grains and quality of food grains, leading to good nutrition. We know, as a health science person, I know within the 5 years of life of its infant, as many as more than 50 to 60 per 1,000 live births, people die. Similarly, a large number of people during their pregnancy, they do die because of various lack of nutrition, 1, 2, lack of healthcare facility, and lack of available medical support. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of things we need to do. I have had one session just now on phytomedicine and things like that. That is also very close to me. It is very important. You can imagine you two who, since 1971 in China, being a communist country, you can imagine they promoted research to find out solution how to contain death rate from malaria from Vietnam War. Since then, she got only 2 years back a Nobel Prize for artemisinin being discovered after a lot of work identifying number of herbs, then a streamline going to 1 or 2 of them, then characterizing them, a long work. This kind of, these are discovery type of research, and they have found it very well. Besides nivaquine and quinine, artemisinin has made tremendous control of the malarial death. Similarly, there are a number of other disease conditions. I will not go to that. This is not the correct forum to tell. But at the same time, it is useful for us to say, for agricultural scientists sitting here or the scholars, you can do how we can improve the quality of our product, grain. We can fortify it, biofortification with various other required nutrients in the rice paddy itself. One of my colleagues, when I was in another university, in Amity University, we were doing a research work. I was part of it, although I am from health science, to foliar spray and iron fortification, because anemia is a big concern for us, both for ladies, pregnant ladies, and also in children who are premature or because of infection. So improve the quality of the rice containing appropriate nutrients. We can biofortification is another way, right in the agricultural field, one thing. 2, we can identify, we have a lot of herbs in the northeast, like Chinese people have done, to contain and control various inflammatory diseases. We have to characterize, we have to identify, then purify, and then see the characterization of those medical herbs, phytomedical plants, as to what kind of characteristics do they have, either anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic, anti-cancer, and so on and so forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, in medical science, we have done a lot of things after the discovery of DNAs. A great work has been done so far in the molecular science, from RNA to protein level. And after the Genome project has been completed in 2002, human genome sequencing have been done successfully. We know now how the human body is constituted of, but even though we need to know how it influences the medical diagnostic and medical therapy. It is important for all of you scientists. Today I was in Cotton College in Geology department for their platinum jubilee celebration. There also I underline those basic science people and life science people. Science is nobody's single person's domain nowadays. For discovery of certain thing or a directed research of identified problems to be solved, we need concentrated approach, multidisciplinary approach, so that you can quickly get a solution to identified problems. We have soil pollutions because of insecticide. The other day I was listening to TV in Assam channel that in Barpata a lot of cancer because of pesticide. A doctor or somebody is telling cancer patient may be more, but it has to be proven beyond doubt, as one of our colleagues has said. Proof of evidence in research, proof of evidence has to be available. Unless that is there, unless proof of evidence is there, we cannot say this herbs will cause disease or these herbs will help the control of the disease. Proof of evidence is available. You have to be truthful, young friends, scholars. You have to properly record your observation that you do in experiment, be it observational or laboratory experimental work. And you have to have a question. In my new university where I am now supervising PhD work, although I am from health science, I could see the methods of research is similar. There is no difference. Rather, in health sciences, research method is much more perfect because you cannot make error in health science. As less as possible, errorless assessment has to be done, conclusion has to be drawn, then recommended publication or patent development, then of course commercialization and through the help of industry. It is also very important for me to mention the youngsters, not the colleagues, senior colleague, bear with me, that you should also think of doing research within the institute and take yourself to a startup company. In US nowadays, all professors are allowed to also to run a company with himself or herself. If he or she has done some research, if it is of importance, you have patented, you can run a company. And with the help of industry, you can create innovation. As you know, innovation has three important elements. One, it has to be useful, large-scale utility. Two, it has to give revenue through large-scale product distribution and market. Third, it has to have strategic benefit for human welfare. So this is my few observation. I will not retain you for longer time because I have a habit of keep talking and talking. Being a teacher and a medical scientist, we can keep talking from our own experience because there is a large number of knowledge available inside our head. We're not doing research because you have seen patient. Every patient is a research material. We learn from every patient. Different patients are having different symptoms and they come with different backgrounds, maybe rich, maybe very poor, but disease is same. Another area we have progressed tremendously, sir, in blood cancer. With laser flow cytometer, it may be here, you can identify precisely when a cell going on after another, and the laser optical assessment is done, you know whether it is a leukemia, lymphocyte leukemia, and plus T-cell leukemia, and various types of leukemia. So that's the precision, that's the proof of evidence that you can treat lymphomas or leukemias much better than other solid cancer. Cancer from the breast, again, there is a revolution, at least two genes are available, BRCA1 and BRCA2. And once I have also seen many families, although it is not clearly understood and clearly validated, that certain cancers do occur in families because of the genetic preponderance. Now the question comes, when the human genome knowledge is available to us, therefore there is a genomic medicine. We call not personal, some people call it personal medicine, genomic medicine. Considering the fact of genomic framework of an individual, he or she are known to, we can identify what are the diseases he or she may suffer from, likely to suffer from. Therefore, you can modify diet and other things, exercise, and guidance, so that he or she doesn't get that disease. That's the kind of knowledge available in biological sciences. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, biological sciences cannot be devoid of mathematical sciences, computational knowledge, because we need to digitize them for record purpose, and also a lot of calculations are done in that way. If I have to tell another 1 minute, if you permit me, there is physics. When you take a blood pressure, we know when the heart is beating, what is the pressure going through the various systems, right to the periphery of the radial artery. So there is physics. When you talk of DNA and PCR technology to find out the DNA segment by amplification, a very small tissue you can take and amplify it and sequence it, then match with the available DNA of a disease condition. Like that, at least since the audience is there, I must tell you for your benefit, at least we have 2 vaccines to prevent cancer. One is cervical cancer for ladies, which is associated with, highly associated and assumed to have cause is HPV virus, cervical cancer. So that vaccination program has to be done. Other is liver cancer. Hepatitis B and C viruses are known to cause hepatic cancer. Therefore, vaccines are available for that. At least for 2 cancers, we have vaccine available. We have large number of vaccine for infectious disease, all of you know. Right from the birth, you give BCG vaccine and vaccine for tuberculosis. In spite of that, tuberculosis is a big killer. We need to do research together along with you, with medical people, to find out why tuberculosis is still prevalent and a big killer besides non-communicable disease, heart disease, stroke, and so on and so forth. So tuberculosis is still a big disease, because although the government of India has a very good program, DOTS program, under direct observation they give the treatment, and also modified DOTS. Still, we do get fulminating tuberculosis involved in the lung and people die, or some tuberculosis in the brain. It affects all parts of the body. Again, technology and science have made it possible, miraculous thing. You can have a baby. If somebody is having infertility and so on and so forth, one can collect the ovum from the ovary of the lady and take sperm and outside fertilize it and house it in the uterus of the person, or even in a surrogacy. If there is a uterine abnormality, you can have a surrogate mother as well. That's the power of technology, actual use or translatable use of scientific knowledge. So there is a lot of knowledge available. We need more for appropriate welfare of the human being. The title of the seminar is very nice and nicely made it. That should be the direction of this institution, because all we do in life, to my mind, in a spiritual thing also, we do everything for the benefit of human beings. When you talk of human beings, we need not also forget about the plants and the climates and the natural things. Someone has already said we have to see the disaster management. Our erosion in the, previously when I was a child, we know that Shillong Road is closed because of the landslide. These are some of the issues already you have discussed, as I could understand from the chairperson. There is a large number of activities you can do in the Northeast, both for control of flood, both for also for flood, artificial flood in the city of Guwahati, I have seen artificial flood even in Delhi when I was there. So we must work in diverse fields so that actually you can create new knowledge, new skill, and give innovative tool to control them or contain them and to even prevent them in some cases. With these few words, I'm extremely grateful to Dr. N.C. Talukdar and all of you. At the end of the day, although you must be very tired, you are listening to all of us and meet at the end. I'll stop here. Thank you so much.